In the Marine Library's restricted basement, a starving orphan named Sora could hear his own stomach over the silence of 1,000 dusty logs. His hand trembled as it reached for a log, the color of dried blood. The cover smelled of salt and secrets. He bit into the spine. Golden light burst from the pages, running down his throat like molten history. In his mind, a pirate battle erupted. Cannon fire, clashing steel, and an execution platform against a blood-red sky. Sora collapsed against the shelves, his skull afire with centuries of raids, betrayals, and hidden treasures.
I know everything, every tactic, every death. This is impossible.
He stared at the half-eaten log in his hands. Its pages were now blank, but his mind was full.
If one log did this, then all of them together could make me something more than a starving cleaner.
He hid the log behind a loose stone, heart pounding not from fear, but from a hunger that was only beginning to wake.
Tomorrow, I eat again. This vault is my kitchen, and I've been starving for 17 years.
Every night when the library slept, Sora returned to the vault. The bowl of gruel in his quarters grew cold and untouched. Log by log, pirate legacies poured into him. His amber eyes began to glow even in the dark, and his reflection no longer matched his face.
So much power, but every time I close my eyes, I dream of chains and a kneeling man in a king's cloak.
The dream sharpened. A chopping block, a crowd howling, an axe that caught the sun before it fell. Sora woke gasping, his own neck throbbing where the blade had touched. The log chewed earlier that night lay beside his pillow.
This isn't just memory. Something inside the logs is still breathing.
That night, the silence in the vault split open. A voice old as seawater and rot spoke from inside his own bones.
You are summoning me, boy. Every page you swallow pulls another link of my chains into your throat.
I am not summoning anything. I am just hungry.
But in his chest, the pact was already carved. Sora returned to the vault the next evening, the bowl of gruel forgotten forever. Sora's stomach still screamed louder than the dead king. At the library counter, he noticed a cadet named Ren crumpling a failed exam.
3 times I've failed this tactical history exam. If I don't pass tomorrow, they'll expel me.
I've seen you suffer, Ren. Bring me real food, and I'll give you answers no instructor can refuse.
They met in the vault's darkest corner. Sora handed over a sheet covered in elegant, barbed handwriting.
This is brilliant. But how do you know all this? Are you a scholar?
I just read a lot. Now get me something that isn't library slop.
The next day, Ren sat the exam. The quill moved as if possessed, and when the results posted, the cadet barracks exploded. Ren, the perpetual bottom feeder, scored the highest marks in a decade, but in the instructor's lounge, a stark comparison sent a chill through the faculty.
Perfect grades draw perfect enemies, but a full stomach silences a dead king.
The instructors posted a venomous notice, a mandatory retake for any cadet suspected of receiving outside help. A trap for the ghostwriter. Sora heard Ren's frantic footsteps in the vault before the boy even opened his mouth.
They're going to watch us like hawks. Someone will break and give you up.
Before Sora could answer, he caught a pale glimmer on the spiral staircase. Princess Librarian May stood motionless, her violet eyes fixed directly on him.
Has she been standing there the whole time? How much did she see?
Hours later, an instructor cornered Ren in a dim corridor. The cadet's nerve shattered in minutes.
I just gave him food. He writes the answers himself. I don't know how he knows, but he's in the library.
That evening, security officers threw open the vault doors, flashlight beams slicing through decades of archival silence. Sora pressed flat behind a massive log stack, holding his breath as boots stomped past his hiding place.
They're close. But her eyes are closer. If they come back, the chewed covers will hang me. I need to burn every last one.
Sora fed the evidence to the flames. The leather hissed like a dying whisper, but his hunger only tightened. Hours later, when the vault was silent, Princess Librarian May glided down the stairs. Her gloved hand retrieved what the fire had spared.
Bite marks. Not a rat's, a human's. This is how he knows everything.
The next day, a hidden monitor flickered to life in May's office. The vault lay exposed, every corner cataloged. She watched Sora return that night, his jaw working, his eyes alight, and she recorded everything.
The library feels heavier tonight, like eyelashes on my neck.
But the king in his bones purred approval, and the log dissolved in his mouth like victory. In her office, May slid a single sheet of parchment into the next log she knew he would reach for. A message, a test.
If he truly holds the Pirate King's soul, he will understand my offer. If not, he'll only see a blank page.
Sora pulled the pierced log free, and a folded note tumbled out, its seal pressed with the royal crest of the library. May's house. It read, "I know you devour the forbidden logs. Come to the deep aisle at midnight. I am not your enemy."
She knows, but if this were a trap, she'd have brought the guards by now.
At midnight, the deep aisle smelled of old leather and secrets. May stepped from the shadow of a shelf, her glasses catching the single lantern's flame.
You've been eating history itself, Sora. The admirals are hunting a ghostwriter, but you are something far more dangerous.
Then why haven't you turned me in?
Because you are assembling something that could change everything. I want to guide it. Let me be your curator.
Curator or handler, but the voice in my skull says this pact is the only meal left on the table.
Sora took the log she pressed into his hands. Its cover bore the sigil of a drowned king, and the taste was colder than the rest.
Now, write. Give me strategies no living marine has dreamed, and I will make sure no one ever finds your empty pages.
Night after night, Sora's quill bled ink across parchment. The strategies emerged not from his mind, but from a deeper hunger.
The hand is mine, but the voice dictating it belongs to a dead king, and it's getting louder.
In the Admiralty chamber, a sealed scroll broke open. The anonymous treatise inside described a fleet formation that could encircle a pirate armada.
This isn't Academy work. Whoever wrote this has commanded fleets we've never faced.
And yet the source is untraceable. A ghostwriter who knows our deepest weaknesses. Find them.
But in the library's deepest vault, the strategy's author was already losing the battle for his own name.
Sora, does your name still fit in your mouth, or does mine taste sweeter?
I am still Sora. I am still hungry, but the hunger feels like it has a name now.
He didn't notice May standing in the doorway, watching the chain-shaped shadows flicker across his skin.
He's feeding the king faster than I planned, but the admirals are blind enough to swallow it whole.
That night, Sora's dream strangled him with spectral chains. An axe fell, and the executioner wore his own face.
He almost said my name, not Sora, the name the world forgot. I woke up chewing air.
You're pale as salt. Another nightmare?
Chains around my throat, his voice in my bones. These aren't just memories, May.
They're residual echoes. The old logs carry strong imprints. You absorb the knowledge, the emotional residue fades.
She's lying. Her hand trembles when she says fades. She knows what these log fevers really are.
By dawn, a hard new shadow fell over the library. Security Chief Juko barricaded the vault entrance with his own men.
A ghostwriter is hiding in these shelves. Until I find him, no unauthorized personnel breathe down here.
Juko doesn't raid. He waits, and his zapper staff can fry a locked door off its hinges.
He answers directly to the admirals. We skip the big meals for now. Starve a little, Sora.
Starve? The king doesn't starve. He just devours from the inside. But if I don't eat soon, he'll tear through my skin himself. I can feel his teeth lining up behind mine.
Then we break his perimeter. There's a false alarm panel in the West Archive. I'll pull it. You'll have 10 minutes.
A siren shrieked in the west wing. Juko and his men bolted toward the false alarm, boots echoing down stone corridors. Sora slipped inside the vault and tore into a stack of tied, rotted logs. Pages dissolved on his tongue like salt and screams.
Yes, more. Unbind the tongue, boy. Runes are the only true speech.
Ka, ale vo, fore, var, fear.
May lunged from the shadows and slapped him across the face, hard enough to crack the runes on his lips.
Come back. The diversion is over. Juko will be here in seconds.
His amber eyes returned, gasping. But the vault looked mauled, logs torn, rune-scarred floor. Juko would see it.
Something died down here. I smell burned ink and old blood. No one leaves until I peel the truth off these shelves.
You are hollow without me, boy. Every log you swallow fills the void I left behind. Come, eat, become complete.
May called them echoes, but echoes don't grow teeth. I need to find the truth before his voice becomes my own.
Days later, while Juko's patrol swept the upper floors, Sora's trembling fingers traced a seam in the oldest vault stone. Behind it lay a journal bound in iron-rusted leather. The cover bore the Marine seal and a single word, Warden. The first page read, "By order of the High Council, the heretic king's soul was shattered and bound into 1,000 logs. None shall read them, lest he rise."
A soul prison. I've been reassembling a dead king like a puzzle made of flesh for his ghost.
Clever boy. Now you see the feast isn't yours. It's my resurrection. But the knowledge is still sweet, isn't it?
Sora slammed the journal shut. The truth clawed at his throat. Eating wasn't stealing. It was summoning. It was summoning.
But if I stop, Juko catches me. If I eat, I invite him deeper. I am trapped. This stays hidden. Not even May can know I've seen this. For now, I'll play dead while the king sharpens his teeth inside me.
The weight of the warden's journal burned through Sora's pocket. That night, he cornered May in the deep aisle, the truth between them.
You lied about the echoes, May. This journal says the library is a soul prison. Now, tell me whose plan I am really serving.
May's glasses slipped down her nose. The princess librarian, always composed, crumbled like a torn parchment.
The pirate king was my ancestor. The Marines shattered his soul and buried it here, hoping no one would dare read the forbidden logs. So I became the librarian. I fed you the logs to remake his soul, hoping your hunger would birth a weapon to overthrow the corruption above.
A weapon? I am not a weapon. I am a boy who starved and swallowed a nightmare. You used my hunger like a leash.
She did what I could not. Accept her, Sora. Together we can burn the Marines from history's pages.
Sora stared at May, the enemy who had fed him, the librarian who had wrapped his fate in her family's vengeance.
I know you hate me now, but Juko is closing in, and the king is already in your bones. Help me finish this, and I swear I'll find a way to save yourself.
A way to save me, or just another lie. But if I don't choose now, I'll have no self left to save.
Sora, I can give you more than food. Swallow the final log, and the world's every hidden current will flow through your veins.
And the price, my name, my face, everything I am becomes a footnote in his resurrection.
But in the shadows of the vault, a heavier presence listened. Security Chief Juko had never truly left. He had been waiting, his ear pressed to the dark.
The princess and the cleaner, resurrecting the pirate king. This is beyond ghostwriting. It's treason.
May's hand flew to her chest as if a blade had already struck. She had led Sora into a cage with no exit.
He'll bring the admirals within the hour. They'll kill you or dissect you to find out how much knowledge you absorbed.
There's only one path left, the founding log. It's the final piece. If I eat it, the king will be whole, but maybe I can control him.
Yes, the founding log. It holds my cornerstone. Devour it, and we will see who truly sits on the throne of your mind.
Above them, the library's lockdown sirens began to wail. Steel gates slammed shut on every floor. The admirals were coming.
No more hiding. If I am going to lose myself, I'll do it with a pen in my hand and a last meal that writes my own name into history.
The vault door exploded inward. Juko and 6 armed guards poured through, zapper staffs crackling. May threw herself aside.
On your knees, log eater. The admirals want your stomach cut open for answers.
Juko, wait. You don't understand. He's not the enemy.
Sora, let me borrow your hands. They've earned a king's reply.
No, don't.
Sora's body lunged, a blur of ink and rage. Juko's zapper was wrenched free and driven through his own spine before he could scream. The guards fired, but the king laughed through Sora's mouth. Limbs twisted, necks snapped in 3 heartbeats. Only bodies littered the floor. Then the red drained from Sora's eyes. He fell to his knees, hands soaked, staring at the massacre. May shrank back, her spell broken.
I didn't. That wasn't me. May, I can't stop him. He's already wearing my skin.
The library's lockdown sirens shrieked louder. Above, armored boots hammered the sealed gates. The admirals were minutes away.
The founding log, May, I am already dead. The only question is whether I take his soul down with me or let him wear my corpse.
But if you eat it, there's no coming back. He'll be whole. You'll lose everything you are.
He's already whole enough to kill. At least, this way, maybe I can fight him from inside. Let me have this last meal.
May's fingers uncurled. Sora stepped to the altar, the founding log's glow searing his shadow onto the stone. He bit into the spine. The log dissolved in an explosion of black ink and gold light that consumed the vault.
Yes, the final link. Now I am complete, a king once more.
Above, armored boots skidded to a halt. The spiritual quake ripped through the building. Bookshelves toppled. Alarms shrieked into silence. The admirals froze, their swords half drawn. The silence that followed was deeper than the noise before. In Sora's mind, a throne of ink cracked open, and the king sat upon it, wearing Sora's name like a tarnished crown.
Now, boy, let us show these Marines what a real king's hunger can do.
Inside the throne room of Sora's mind, the king raised a hand, and Sora's memories began to vanish like smoke.
The orphanage, the cold streets, the hunger. Those were never yours. They were empty pages, waiting for my ink.
Number. That was the first time I held a quill. The first time I dreamed, if I can't hold on to my past, I'll carve it into a log. Myself, my name, my hunger. I'll write it all before he swallows me.
In the physical vault, Sora's body convulsed on the stone floor. His fingers twitched, and a pen rolled from a nearby shelf into his palm.
He's fighting, even now. But the king's soul is too strong. What is he doing?
Right. My name is Sora. I ate logs because I was starving. I learned to survive in a world that wanted me dead.
A suicide note. Pathetic. Your ink will fade the moment I finish consuming you.
This isn't for you. It's for the next hungry boy who finds his way into this vault. The one who will finish what I started.
The pen bled gold across the page. Sora poured every remaining scrap of himself into the log, even as the king's throne tightened around his mind.
There, my name, my hunger, my fight. Now he can try to erase me, but this log will outlast any ghost.
Sora's trembling hand slid the finished log behind a loose stone in the altar's base. The spot pulsed once with golden light, then went dim.
For the next hungry one.
Fool, a dead boy's diary won't save you. Now, this body is mine.
Sora's form buckled, and from the wreckage of his silhouette rose a king of ink and vengeance. Every log he had ever eaten screaming into life.
I am the first king, and this library will be my throne once more.
The library groaned, sensing the return. The hidden log pulsed again, a secret heartbeat in the dark.
May, you wanted a weapon. Now watch as I carve your marine masters into history's empty page.
The full weight of the king's consciousness pounded against the sealed gates above, and the Marine's final line of defense began to buckle. In a forgotten corner of the altar, Sora's log lay hidden, its golden light waiting for a new hunger to find it. The king strode toward the sealed gates, and with a flick of his wrist, the steel buckled like paper.
We are the 3 admirals. In the name of the Marines, surrender your vessel.
You are ink stains on a page I wrote. Be silent.
A wave of psychic force slammed the admirals against the walls. Their swords clattered uselessly beside them.
I have waited centuries for this. Your world will be rewritten with your own blood.
But the king's triumph froze. He felt a void, a missing piece in his soul, a name lodged like a splinter.
A fragment, a boy's name still tugging at my edges. Where is it?
His red eyes swept the vault, and with a roar he began tearing through shelves, scattering thousands of logs. Every shelf he destroyed. The hidden log pulsed brighter, a heartbeat that refused to be buried.
I will find that diary, boy, and when I devour it, not even your ghost will remember you existed.
The library shuddered. From every shelf, ghostly chains burst forth, ink black and glowing with the same gold as Sora's hidden log.
Impossible. The warden's spell was broken when I rose from the ashes.
Between the king and the altar, a translucent figure stepped forward. Sora's ghost glowed with the calm of an answered hunger.
You aren't the only one who can write a story. I carved my name into this library, and now it answers to me.
The chains became a cage of ink and light, dragging the king's massive form toward the shelves that had once held his shattered soul.
No, I refuse to be buried again. I am the first king.
You were the first. I am the one who stayed. Now sleep in the pages, and remember that hunger feeds more than kings.
The pirate king's scream dissolved into 1,000 whispers, and the logs drew him back and let's the feels. Sora's ghost remained, a guardian of ink and amber light, his hand resting on the stone that hid his name. Above, the admirals stirred in the rubble, but the library was silent once more, a prison now guarded by its most willing inmate. The king's massive form bled into the pages, but his voice remained, a splinter in the silence.
This isn't the end. Every book you swallow will echo with my hunger. You've only bound me, boy, not erased me.
The log's covers slammed shut, and the last chain retracted into the stone. The library's silence became a held breath. Before the light took him, Sora's ghost turned toward May, his amber eyes calm and full of unanswered hunger.
Thank you for the hunger.
May thought of the child she had once been, reading of pirate kings and dreaming that knowledge could never harm.
I am sorry, Sora. I fed you to a ghost because I thought revenge was justice.
But the ghost was already gone, absorbed into the shelves that now hummed with a warmer light. A yellowed wanted poster, pinned outside the library, caught the wind. The face sketched in ink was Sora's, and beneath it, 2 words. The legend had begun, but the library kept it secret. For now, by order of the admirals, the Marine Library was sealed with iron and marine law. No record, no entry, no memory. The forbidden logs were expunged from every official scroll. Only 3 people in the world knew what had been buried twice.
He left me his glasses. He left me the weight of a silent promise.
May, don't mourn the meal. Remember the hunger.
I'll keep your log hidden, Sora. The right hunger will find it one day. I promise.
She pressed her hand against the sealed door, and deep within, the library's chains hummed a low, familiar note. Across the marine capital, a yellow tag appeared on walls and masts. 3 words: Log Eater. Wanted. Sailors tore it down. But by morning, the paper always returned, the ink as wet as fresh hunger.
He's not a wanted man. He's the guardian of the lost. And I am the keeper of his silence.
The library waited, its secret heart beating in the dark. The Log Eater's story was over and just beginning. Years later, an orphan boy with ribs sharp as hunger crawled through a shattered window of the sealed marine library. He hadn't eaten in 3 days. The vault smelled of old paper and secrets, and his stomach led him deeper than any map. In the altar's rubble, a hidden log still glowed with amber light, waiting for a hunger that matched its own. Before his teeth touched leather, a translucent hand stopped him.
I know that hunger. Take this log, but write your own story before you swallow mine.
Who?
A hungry boy like you, the library will listen if you feed it truth.
The boy clutched the log to his chest, its warmth spreading through his ribs like the first meal he couldn't remember. Behind him, the library's chains hummed a low note, and a golden silhouette watched from the window.
For the next hungry one, carry the hunger forward.
The boy walked away into the sunrise. The amber log clutched to his chest like a promise. On the library wall, a yellowed wanted poster fluttered in the morning breeze. The sketched face beneath the words "Log Eater" was faded, but the ink looked fresh. A shadow of chain links slid across the paper, cast by nothing visible. Deep within the locked library, the shelves hummed a low, familiar note, and somewhere in the rafters, a laugh, ancient and hungry, echoed before dying. The boy did not look back. He had his own hunger to feed now. The poster flapped once more, the chain shadow receding, but the ink remained wet. The library stood silent, its secret heart still beating. The cycle had turned. Some hungers never die.